What is up with 2024 and people being exposed for being alleged creeps, PDF files, whatever you guys want to call them? A lot of you guys have been reaching out to my Instagram and Twitter and sending me this video right here. This video will make you hate Kris Tyson, and in 4 days it's gone almost 600,000 views. Now for a second I thought this was Sunny V2 because of the thumbnail and the way the video's edited. This is straight up a Sunny V2 video without Sunny V2 in it. And I like Sunny V2. He makes bangers. I like him. Now, in case you guys don't know who Kris Tyson is, Kris Tyson works for Mr. Beast. He's as close as you could get to Mr. Beast. You know, I'm extremely interested. The thumbnail is crazy. She was only 14. This is Kris Tyson with like the orange jail jumpsuit. I don't know how this is going to go, but before we get into it, let's keep the conversation civilized. If you end up enjoying this video, subscribe. Thank you.
I want everyone to understand two things. First of all is drawings. Japanese manga that is explicit and involves cartoon characters. It's focused on characters and plots depicting underage girls. Now, I think it's clear enough for anyone to understand what it means if a real person draws or likes drawings. The second thing is, I will not make up anything or accuse anyone. I will only show some disgusting and unbelievable things Kris has done, along with proof. But now you're probably thinking, what in the world does Kris have to do with all of this? To say the least, you're wrong and right at the same time. However, there's a very sketchy personality involved in this story, also known as Shadman. Shadman was a normal guy until he decided to attend an art university in Switzerland to pursue his passion for art. However, shortly after, he was expelled when some of his artwork was discovered to be illegal, even considered a danger to society.
Yeah, I don't know too much about Shadman, to be honest. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert, but I do know that that guy is a fucking creepy ass dude who got exiled from pretty much every community you can think of. The biggest thing I've heard from him was the fact that he drew Keemstar's daughter in a sexual way when she was like, what, 6, 7 years old, if not younger, that if anyone had that in their hard drive, they should go to jail immediately. I don't care how talented the guy is, just for that, that's like ban worthy on every platform you can imagine, in my opinion. And this is not the first time he draws little kids or younger people sexualized. So the fact that, you know, this guy's alluding to Kris Tyson being not friends with Shadman per se, but close or enjoy his work, interesting.
He launched his own website, and that's when his talented artwork came to light. In 2011, he did a very disgusting and unexpected thing. He released art of his own mother.
Give this guy 25 years in prison. I already want to click off. This is so weird. This is stuff that I wish I never knew. Like, think about this for a second. You know how much of a fucking insane maniac you have to be in order to draw your mama naked or in a sexual manner? Imagine how fucked up your brain has to be to, number one, think about that, and number two, go ahead and do it. Line by line. You legitimately had to look at your mom's titties for like an hour just to get the shape right. I don't think there's an excuse for this. Oh, missing context. Were you drawing your dad too? Were you planning on having a collab with your mom and dad and fucking? Was that the context? This is just not it. A minute in and I'm already finding out stuff that I wish I never really found out about. I'm gonna keep it real here.
Someone will tweet on November 8th, 2016, asking Shadman to draw Keemstar's daughter, who was 7 years old at the time, doing inappropriate things with Donald Trump. Shadman will respond by saying that if Trump wins the election, he will deliver it. And as we know, Trump wins, and as promised, Shadman will post drawings of her in an unusual manner.
Nah, I know that I keep pausing it. I'm just low-key blown away by how someone would take their time to draw this. And the thing is, it's not like the guy had no talent or anything. He just chose to do the worst thing possible with it. Dude, you could have done so many good things and gotten so much money if you would have focused this in a positive way. This is enough for me to never want to interact with someone like this ever. This is something that no one that cares about their reputation or, you know, if you're not thinking about it from a business side, this is someone you will never in a million years interact with. Unless it's for like documentary purposes. If you're just a normal ass person and you interact with someone like this, knowing what they've done, and once again, this isn't even the worst thing they've done. Extremely questionable behavior in my opinion.
As if this wasn't enough, he'll later release a drawing of her giving head to Donald Trump. However, Shadman's vision was much worse than imagined. On January 24th, 2017, he posted a picture of Daphne Keene, referring to her as a real-life life. Shockingly, just a few days later, he began posting drawings depicting her being severely molested. What makes this even more disturbing is that she was only 12 years old at the time.
I've heard enough. Hello, officer? Yeah, I got someone you might want to arrest right this second, all right?
But aside from all that, a new question arises. How are Ava and Shadman linked? Well, the answer to this is another drawing by Shadman. It depicts a young girl wearing a "Please be patient, I have autism" cap, pointing a gun at her mouth. She has a fidget spinner as an earring and a spade tattoo on her thigh that says BBC, which we all know what it means. On November 18th, 2017, Ava responded to a tweet from Grande and Mr. Beast stating, "This is coming from a guy who owns a Shad-based drawing and has it as a centerpiece in his living room." Just some time later, they also posted the exact same drawing laid on the floor with the caption, "Bonus fidget spinners to throw some extra autism." Initially, it seems Kris was being sarcastic because this tweet came after Shadman had drawn all those disgusting images. However, something messy was going on behind the scenes. In this Mr. Beast video, you'll notice a very familiar thing at the 9 minutes and 30-second timestamp. From what I believe, keeping illegal art in the bedroom isn't normal at all. The shocking thing is that Mr. Beast and Kris were roommates during that time. Yet this is nothing in comparison to the next incidents. On April 16th, 2018, Ava replied under a deleted Shadman post saying, "No Beast Boy trap, Shad? You've changed." Basically, Ava was asking Shadman to draw art of Beast Boy, as Beast Boy was shown at different ages in the show. We can't say anything for certain, but that doesn't mean the tweet wasn't strange. Though we definitely can't say the same about the next tweet. On January 17th, 2018, a person tweeted saying, "Remember this growing up? Me too. Check it out at Shadbase," featuring a photo of the 4-year-old cartoon character Caillou with his mother, and the tweet clearly referenced that. But instead of opposing it, Kris joined in and replied, "Help, I need an adult." I don't think there's any need to explain how crazy this stuff is.
Something that I keep thinking about right now as I'm watching the video with you guys and we're eating Takis and popcorn together and maybe some Sour Patch Kids. It's fine if he didn't know about his horrible past. I'm talking about Shadman's past and the absolutely disgusting and disturbing images that Shadman had drawn prior to this. Like, if you didn't know once, I'll be like, yeah, it happens, right? Interact with someone and we really don't know their whole past and everything they've said, done, and drawn. I'm willing to give someone the pass if they didn't know who they were interacting with. Once, maybe twice if I'm feeling nice that day. But this is from 2018 and the whole Shadman situation with, drawing disgusting images was from 2017. And even during 2017, Kris Tyson was liking some of his work before and he's continuing to interact with them. You didn't just save the photo of the girl with the gun that looks extremely young. You didn't just save that to your hard drive, but you bought it and you put it in your room. Now, in order to do that, in my opinion, you gotta be kind of a fan. I never buy YouTube merch or, anyone's artwork really, unless I really like them and their prior work. I'll just totally not buy it based on his name and the reputation he carries. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Kris Tyson was between 19 to 20 years old when, this was going down. How do you not know about this guy's past when you're terminally online and on top of that, you bought something from him? Like, the excuse, "Oh, I had no idea who he was," it's not really going to fly.
But what's even crazier is Ava's next tweet. Maybelle and Dipper are 12-year-old siblings from a show called Gravity Falls. On July 14th, 2017, a user tweeted comics of these characters kissing. Ava replied, "They're twins, so at this point, it's just right?" I mean, it's almost unbelievable that Ava Kris Tyson was tweeting this. This just reflects their personality and feelings. The strange part is that they delete most of their tweets later on. Anyway, Tyson's tweets will only become more shocking and unusual from now on. On June 21st, 2018, a user posted some scenes of a 14-year-old character named Violet from the movie Incredibles. Ava replied saying, "Low-key, she's cute." The fact that Violet was 14 and Ava was a grown adult makes this even worse. The surprising part is that Ava wasn't just reacting to Shadman's work. They were friends or knew each other, to say the least. On April 16th, 2019, Ava will post a clip from their livestream where they accidentally visited Shadman's website. What's even weirder is that they gave him a shout out stating, "Shout out to Shadbase for having safe for work drawings today." I accidentally put up his website on stream. However, if you still think this is a coincidence, the next incident will definitely change your mind. On January 25th, 2019, Shadman posted a picture of a character called Raphtalia from The Rising of the Shield Hero. There are two versions of her in the show. In one, she is 17, and in the other, she's 10. Shadman posted a 10-year-old version stating, "What is this, and why do people keep sending me this?" Ava replied underneath saying, "Please, Shad, please." I believe everyone understands what this means.
That is not a good look. Like at all. Like I knew of like one or two tweets from this situation. And now shout out to this guy. I thought it was just going to be like a Sunny V2 ripoff. Well, I mean it kind of is, but you know, the guy's barely starting out. When we make videos, when we're up and coming, or when we just start, we always copy our favorite YouTubers. I remember back in 2017, like my first few videos were just like Critical and Leafy is Here ripoff. And some people might say that I still do it to this day. Okay? Back in the day, it was a lot worse. I'm not a Kris Tyson fan by any means, nor am I a hater. I'm neutral when it comes to Kris, but this is not a good look. And this is from 2019, so this is like a year and a half after Shadman blew up from drawing you know what, and he was in a lot of controversy at the time. So it's not like Kris didn't know when he was a YouTuber, aka Terminally Online. I'm not here to accuse Kris Tyson of being a PDF file and joining Minilada and the others. We usually wait for a response. This video is definitely gonna cross 1 million views in a few weeks, if not in a few days. So at some point, it's gonna get too big to ignore, and I'm sure Kris Tyson is going to have to make a statement via that's on YouTube or Twitter or something like that. You all know what this is alluding to. Oh yeah, please draw the 10-year-old in a sexual way possible. It does seem like Kris was a fan of Shadman because they've interacted for years at this point. So much so that Kris wasted his money on a drawing. Every second that passes, this is becoming more and more difficult to defend,
as Shadman is basically an illegal artist who draws this stuff. Obviously, this is messed up, but things didn't get better. On January 24th, 2020, a user named Ather replied to Ava with a photo of a girl. The story behind this image is that there are two versions of the image, one with the girl clothed and the other without, and the post was liked by Ava. These were just the incidents that had proofs or were recorded before they deleted everything. One of the tweets, which wasn't clear or was out of context, said, "Nothing gets my knob cranking like some." As we know, the meaning is inappropriate, but let's just let it go. Now, some people may argue that these tweets are years old. I want to clarify again that I am not hating or accusing anyone. This is purely for educational purposes. It's important to understand that Ava was invited to the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards, and everyone should be aware of this. The fact that Shadman wasn't just an artist, but drew literal kids is even worse. He was basically a predator.
I wasn't expecting this video to be that crazy. As someone who's hearing about this and a lot of these things for the first time, especially when you're that famous, you know what I mean? Like at that point, Mr. Beast had 1 million, 2 million subscribers. Like they were popping, they were big. And the fact that Kris Tyson was interacting with that kind of stuff, buying that kind of stuff, it's such a stupid thing to do. The only reason why people know Kris is because he's friends with Mr. Beast. So what's that going to do? It's just going to make people start looking at Mr. Beast funny. Like, oh, why were you friends with this person? Why were you giving them a platform? Yeah, that's going to hurt your reputation. And I just learned, I had no idea this was a thing. Kris Tyson has a YouTube channel. I've seen like 1 or 2 of the videos. Extremely lame. Not something that I would ever watch in a million years. I'm sorry, I don't want to watch hilarious reactions to animal savage moments, funny animal compilation. Just not for me. But the comment section is, it's bad. It's bad. It's Cody Co bad. Creepers, stay away from my kids. You just got exposed as a creep. This guy's a creep and should not be let near his children or his own kid. Bro is EDP Junior. Okay, that one's funny. Next video idea, 100 minors versus 100 predators? That is crazy. The whole comment section is just going crazy. Like I couldn't find one positive comment. I'm not going to take this as 1000% definitive proof that Kris Tyson is EDP Junior. I think everyone should be allowed to respond. Don't get me wrong, I think they're extremely weird, low-key kind of disgusting not even low-key, they are disgusting because that's a fact. They did purchase that drawing. Kris put it in the room. He continued to interact with Shadman for like a year or 2 afterwards. And like I said, at some point, Kris Tyson has to respond, or else this is something that's going to follow them for the rest of their fucking YouTube career or their life. At some point, they're going to have to address it, whether that's Mr. Beast and team or Chris Solo, which I don't really think Mr. Beast should be dragged into this. It's not like he purchased this or interacted with Shadman. So I think people should leave Mr. Beast and his crew out of this. He really doesn't have anything to do with this. This is more of a Chris problem. Not a very good look in my opinion. But with that said, what do you guys think of the situation? Let me know in the comments below. Before you go, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We want to pass Mr. Beast, so we're gonna have to hit 300 million subscribers before the end of the month. So make sure you do your part, subscribe, notifications on, like, share, and all of that cool stuff. And with that said, I'll see you next time. All right, be safe and take care.